The Harrington Villa in the Los Angeles hills shimmered with luxury but breathed with cold silence whenever Aidan Bennett walked its marble halls, a quiet shadow under chandeliers that never shone for him. Richard and Margaret, poised in their polished perfection, were architects of pride, pouring every drop of praise into Caleb Harrington, the golden heir of Sterling Systems, while Aidan, their neglected son, worked nights in silence, fingers trembling over blueprints and code, building something of his own. He had stopped expecting their approval long ago, finding warmth instead in Uncle Theodore Bennett's cluttered study, where the old man's wisdom wrapped around Aidan like a forgotten lullaby. "Let them talk," Theodore would say, eyes glimmering. The world often mislabels brilliance as failure. And so Aidan kept building, kept dreaming while outside. His parents paraded Caleb, their prodigy, their symbol, through magazine covers and grand galas. Months later, under the glittering skyline of New York, the charity fundraiser for Sterling Systems became the night where illusions turned to dust. The penthouse glowed with gold and champagne. Guests in tuxedos toasted to Caleb's supposed brilliance, cameras flashing. Richard's handshake sealing alliances worth millions. Aidan stood near the edges, unnoticed, holding a small, sealed folder slipped to him minutes earlier by a stranger. The handwriting was unmistakable. Uncle Theodore's. He opened it under the dim light of the corridor. Inside lay a handwritten letter and legal documents that turned his pulse into thunder. Theodore's final words revealed the truth sealed away for years. Sterling Systems, the $75 million empire, registered under Aidan's name through an offshore investment portfolio his late mother had secured. The empire everyone worshipped as Caleb's inheritance was, in truth, his. The letter trembled in his hand as he read the words that shattered everything. "You were never the outsider. Aidan, you were the foundation." The orchestra's music swelled from the ballroom as Caleb took the stage for his speech, the crowd's applause echoing hollow pride across the marble. Aidan stepped forward, slow, breath uneven, each step heavier with 12 years of silence. The spotlight stung his eyes as murmurs rippled through the room. Richard's proud smile faltered when he saw the folder. "Aidan, what are you doing?" Margaret's pearls shimmered faintly as her shoulders stiffened. Aidan's voice broke through the noise, soft but resolute. "You built this legacy on a lie." The room froze. He raised the letter high, the seal still intact, then unfolded it before everyone. The hush was unbearable. Even the chandeliers seemed to stop flickering. As he read Theodore's final revelation aloud, gasps replaced applause. Caleb's face drained of color, staring at the papers that named Aidan Bennett as the rightful heir and original co-founder. Richard's pride shattered like glass. Margaret clutched Caleb's arm, trembling. For the first time, the crowd saw Aidan, not the failure they whispered about, but the architect of the truth. When his voice finally quieted, silence filled the penthouse, deep and thick, until one person began to clap. Mr. Reynolds, his longtime mentor, and the only man who had ever respected his work, stepped forward. His slow, deliberate applause spread like wildfire through the crowd. The echo grew, filling the space that once belonged to lies. Aidan stood tall, the lights no longer blinding but warm. He turned toward the stunned faces of his family, Richard's fury melting into regret, Caleb's envy crumbling into shame. For once, Aidan wasn't invisible. Mr. Reynolds came beside him, resting a hand on his shoulder, whispering the words that would mark the rest of his life. "Their silence built your strength." The applause roared now, waves of truth washing away years of deceit. Through the glitter and noise, Aidan finally saw himself, not as the forgotten son, but as the true pulse of a legacy misnamed. His reflection in the glass revealed not a failure, but a man reborn from neglect. And as the city lights winked beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows, he smiled faintly, feeling the weight of every lie lift into nothing. The Harrington Empire had fallen quiet, but in that silence, Aidan Bennett rose unshaken, finally realizing what he had always been, the light they refused to